Good morning, class. I'd like you to study this important physics presentation.
Prefects assemble! Hi, I'm Michael Stocks. Hi, I'm Michael Stocks. You may remember me from such films as 101 Great Family Feasts or Iron Fist, a study of school captains throughout the ages. Today we present to you one of the most amazing stories of North Sydney Boys High School. For years he has been the icon of our school spirit, our struggle against Melbourne High School and the epitome of the all-rounder. But even years after his rise to fame, his past is shrouded in mystery. Who is Don the Falcon?
Don doesn't really talk much about his past. Like, you know, that accent of his, that little caw he adds, you know, at every single word, I'm just not convinced it's real.
Today, for the first time, we uncover the living legend, Don the Falcon, beneath the feathers. Don the Falcon was born in the small rural town of Kroplenka in Russia. From an early age, he was able to impress his school friends with his ability to fly. He soon became the village mascot. However, there was one person that he was unable to impress.
Our father was a policeman, and his father was a policeman before him, and his father before him was a stripper who occasionally dressed as a policeman. I think Dad wanted Don to follow in his footsteps, but Don never really wanted that kind of lifestyle. I mean, I think he had a lack of respect for the Soviet police. I mean, in Australia, you break the law. In Soviet Russia, the law breaks you.
Angered by his father's disappointment at him and the civil unrest in Russia, Don the Falcon decided to try out for all the schools across the world and finally set his heart on a school on Sydney's North Shore.
I remember Don when he made his initial application to the school. I manage the people who we take into the school in years 8 to 12, and I remember Don as a special case. How would a bird fit into a boys' school? How would he be accepted? But what I was particularly impressed about, which is singularly unique for Don at this school, is his enormous gift of the ability to fly. Although Mr. Ovens and I will actually have to put in a risk management plan, particularly in the rooms that have fans, we still think that although he doesn't play soccer or basketball and will find it particularly difficult to do a lot of community service, I say, get this kid who can fly. We need him.
Don quickly became one of the top performing students at the school despite all of his extracurricular activities. He experienced a freedom in North Sydney Boys that he did not have back in Russia. For the first time in Don's life, he felt like he belonged.
I remember in year 8, there were these rumours flying around about him. Something like, and they were ridiculous, yeah. Something like he knew more languages than Mr. Salter, or he made a lamer joke than Mr. Fletcher. I even remember one time when he wanted to change his name to Chuck Norris. I don't know if they're even real or not.
On his fourth day at school, Don reconciled years of tension between the academics of the school and those who were more sporting.
Sport, Academics. Sport. Academics. Sport.
However, his good marks and personality also created some enemies for him at the school.
The Don is not all he seems, I know him. He says he doesn't go shooting, but I reckon he does. Come on, does he really want us to believe he was doing community service every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday afternoon? Please.
I remember halfway through year 7, there was this kid who really didn't like Don. His name was Malcolm. Yeah, Malcolm or something like that. And he was really sick of Don beating him all the time and everything. Oh, there was this one fight that they had. Oh, and that turned pretty nasty, as you can imagine.
So we were all sitting in the quad playing handball, and Don was winning as usual, right? So Malco, he got really angry, and he challenged Don to a one-on-one handball match. Now this was a real fight for honor, and when Don won, I think that was the final straw for Malco.
Yeah, after the fight, Malco declared himself the enemy of Don the Falcon and renamed himself Captain Malco. He transformed from regular high school villainy to comic book supervillain.
After the harsh reality of the start to high school, Don discovered that there was more to being in high school than just being a really ridiculously good student.
Don could do just much more than just fly, you know. I mean, I remember back in year 8 when we were playing soccer together, and he did this move that just no one had seen before. It was brilliant. I can quite proudly say that I went to the school with the person who invented the bicycle kick.
However, success would bring enemies as well as friends. By year 9, he had achieved everything that he wanted to, but Don's journey was far from over. Coming up after the break from our sponsors, the Prefects, we explore Don's journey as success finally catches up with him. He battles an enemy, and he battles with his StarCraft addiction.
Heads up! Heads up! Here's another one, and another one. Geek, geek. Why you all in my ear? Talking a whole bunch of shit that I ain't trying to hear. Get back, you don't know me like that. Get back, you don't know me like that. Geek, geek. I ain't playing around. Make one.
Compare the pair. Same age, same school, same subjects. Yet it could mean a lifetime of difference for their final HSC ATAR. He has good uniform. He has bad uniform. His marks are higher. His marks are lower. Uniform makes you pro at life. Uniform. A life of difference.
The things that most people don't realise about being part of the laser army is that it becomes like a family. Like the friends you make are friends for life. Sure.
It's my girl. Sweet. I'm gonna marry her someday. Yeah, mate. Nice. Violet Witch.
One of the reasons why I joined the laser tag army was to experience the challenges. To know to make the right decisions when the time comes.
It taught me a lot of things about what it means to be a hero. You know, involves sacrifice and doing things, but mostly a lot of slow motion.
It's time to set the future today.
By the end of year 9, Don the Falcon seemed to have it all. A hot and polite girlfriend, an untagged tie, and perfect school grades. But had this Falcon flown too close to the sun? As Don entered the second phase of his life at NSB, it seemed that he not only had to deal with puberty, testy-pops, and feathers in strange new places, but he also had entered the darkest phase of his life. I don't like talking about Dom's bad year. It was a bad year for us all. We even considered changing the school song to Source the Falcon into a rubbish bin. I can't help but think that if only things had gone differently on that fateful presentation day.
So the winner and
Ducks of Year
for 2008 is it's you,
Don the Falcon.
feeling a bit sick about this. This was a complete accident. I'm so sorry.
Scott Zoo.
It was fed to me wrong.
It's alright. It's okay,
Oh, God.
Don was, look, he was devastated by the embarrassment. I mean, sure, Scott's a top academic student. It was really I think it was a terrible blow for Don. He sort of got himself into this downward spiral of addictions and worries, and things weren't going real great for him. I think he actually, at one point, he got a very serious addiction to StarCraft.
By the time Don started year 11, he was more addicted to StarCraft than the chicks are to Max Strictly's Gathering.
Even though Don made it into Diamond League, it came at a price. He was in a dark place. He didn't care whether he lived or died. I even saw him eat a slice of Max's toast once. He was fat. His addiction was crippling him. He'd stopped all sports, and he was failing at school. His jokes were even lamer than Mr. Fletcher's.
Don, what's the time?
Kaka? Kaka? Kaka?
Forties. Even I don't think that's funny.
As far as I'm concerned, Don got what he deserved. I mean, everyone's going on about how he's an all-rounder Falcon. But you know what? I don't even think he is a Falcon. Sometimes he just looks like a man in a suit. And as for those pictures, I'm glad somebody took them.
These intimate photos of Don really put a dent in the Falcons' reputation. What do you say about these photos, Scott? Don's longtime extreme jet skiing partner?
It was bad.